Hello everyone, welcome to Building the Ultimate Matchbox Car Collection. My name's Tyrone. It's whiskey time. This is the Best of Scotland collection in 143 for Matchbox. I'd never seen these before. There are so many things now that I'm really on the hunt for pretty much everything Matchbox ever did in the history of ever. I'm continually surprised. And here we have the Best of Scotland collection Valentine's thingy. What kind of car is this? 1930 Ford A. There's the other side if you want to freeze frame. Look at that. The colour of it reminds me of Cadbury's chocolates. Maybe it's more of a purple than this, but that's what springs to mind. I'm vaguely familiar with Valentine's. Scotch whiskey or just whiskey? The superb Scotch. It is Scotch whiskey. Nice. That's the underside. Not a lot going on under there. Not like the well, a couple of the 143 collections I've shown. They've got all sorts going on underneath. The diff, the oil sump, everything, but not quite so much detail on these. Still a beauty though, really nice. Do they roll? Not really. They're not toys, are they? I've got these boxes in order for a change. To get the certificates tucked in under, nice and neat. It's about the neatest the studio table's looked in quite some time. I'd like to keep it that way. The second one to show you is Long John. If you're wondering, it's YWG 02-M. Long John MacDonald. Distilled, blended and bottled in Scotland. Special reserve. They all say finest Scotch whisky, don't they? They can't all be right. What kind of vehicle is this? I'm not familiar with these really old ones. It's the 1926 Ford TT. I went to Scotland once by myself. It's a nice place. I found myself by myself in London after meeting up with a friend and he had to go back to work in France, and we said cheerio in Paris, and I caught the Eurostar through the Channel Tunnel to London. Stayed there for a few days and decided I had too many more days to kill just by hanging out in London, so I caught the train up to Edinburgh. It's beautiful. It was particularly cold. It was sort of Christmassy time, between Christmas and New Year's, I think. But I didn't have accommodation. I found it when I got there. There was an information bureau. This lovely lady at the desk at the train station in Edinburgh after a very long day on the train. But I said, what's the best place to stay in Edinburgh? And without blinking, she said the Waverley. And I said, great, that's where I'm living. Just for a couple of nights. Here we have Cuttersuck. I'm wondering if that's pronounced anywhere near like I'm saying. I've never heard of Cuttersuck Scots whiskey. Interestingly, it's not Scotch whiskey, it's Scots whiskey. There's a lot I don't know about these things. Fascinating to me, but yeah. 1929 Morris van. That's a Morris. Huh. Berry Brothers and Company. I like it. It's got the, is that the Royal Coat of Arms? Sales go through the roof if ever you get given the Royal Coat of Arms. So that's the third one to show you. The fourth one, don't ask me to pronounce this one. I wouldn't know. I just wouldn't know. What vehicle are we looking at? This is my favourite of the six, by the way. Maybe because it just looks a little, more modern, more like a vehicle, more like a panel van. What is it? Oh, there we are. It's the 1937 GMC van. Wellity. Yeah, so I left the train station after getting very good advice and paying a handsome sum of money, because the Waverley is, well, it's the Waverley. And the nice young lady gave me very detailed directions, but I was so fatigued. I was just smiling and nodding through them all. So I got out of the train station there, and I saw a bobby, a policeman, walking along. He'd just come off the bridge. There's a nice, very old bridge. Everything's old in Edinburgh, but there was a very nice bridge to the right of the train station as I left it. And I vaguely remembered the girl saying right, fatigue. And I headed randomly that way, and it was getting dark too. That's a beauty. That's my favourite. It was getting dark, so it was probably like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but middle of winter, so far north, you know the deal. So I headed right, and this bobby on the beat policeman was by himself randomly. Sheep dip, goodness. Number 5 is the sheep dip. Looks like a Model T, doesn't it? 1912 Ford Model T. Gee, I got that one right. 8-year-old pure malt Scotch whisky. Actually, these guys aren't saying the finest. Product of Scotland, the original Oldbury. Sheep dip. Delicious. And handy around the farm. So I said to the bobby, I'm looking for the Waverley, could you point me in the right direction? And the Waverley, if you're not familiar with Edinburgh, it's the most iconic hotel in town, and from the bridge you can see it. It's like quite an impressive building. And he just looked at me like, what can I book you for? Drugs? And he turned and he pointed directly at the hotel. And I said, oh, that's the Waverley. He goes, yeah, you're staying there? I said, yes. This is Teacher's Scotch Whisky. This is one I'm familiar with. Maybe a little too familiar with. Back in the day. Teacher's Scotch Whisky. And this one is the 1932 Ford AA. I like this one. Not as much as this one, but I like this one. Yeah, so off I went to the Waverley. Very old hotel. I like to say to people that it's right across the road from Edinburgh Castle, up on the hill there. I like to say to people I had lunch at the castle, because there's a fish and chip shop up there. Might still be there. Probably is. Looked like it'd been there forever. Nice fish and chips. I like this one. It's got the thistles. Glasgow. Established 1830. Imagine what the world looked like in 1830. And they're all very heavy. I think this must be the heaviest. All of this is just solid cast. It's a beauty. Again, no real detail on the bottom. You get a spare wheel. There's a little bit going on, but all the action's up top. Because how many times do you do that, honestly? You have a look, and then you plonk it there, unless you've got one of those fancy mirrored cabinet things. I like them. Did I let you freeze frame that? I don't think I did. Next time I'm in Scotland, I'll probably go to Glasgow. Why wouldn't you? Nice. That's a nice little treat, isn't it? Some variety in Matchbox. They had plenty of variety. Still do, really, but you don't see 143s from Matchbox these days. It's a shame. They're nice. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.